All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer, this time between Revolution Brewing and Hop Butcher for the World, and they are both out of Chicago, Illinois. And this is their base, so they're calling this one a West Coast style pale ale. It comes in at 6% alcohol by volume, 40 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 3 weeks old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with. And yeah, they sent me all 3 collaboration beers that they did with Revolution in the last box. The first one was their Maintains and Shapes, which was basically an IPL, and it was pretty damn good. They sent me this one, and then they sent me their Superstructure, which is an Imperial Hazy IPA. So this is the second of the bunch that I'm reviewing. Now, hops in this one, they're using Amarillo, Chinook, Citra, Cashmere, Cryo Citra, Cryo Citra, and Cryo Centennial. So a lot of hops going on, and honestly, kind of in the mood for a West Coast style pale ale right now. Haven't had, I could say, a West Coast style pale ale in a while. I've had some West Coast IPAs. I used to not really like West Coast IPAs back in the day, talking 7, 8, 9 years ago. But with all the hazes and everything, these are always welcomed in my world now because they have such a different profile. I'm starting to dig over the last 2 or 3 years the pine resin and like grapefruit and all that stuff. So I'm really interested to give this one a go. I think it's going to be pretty good, and we will see. So let's give it a pour here. So yeah, pouring out like you kind of expect. Maybe a little bit more hazy, but not really. No, not really. It just looked like that because I was pouring it. Yeah, so that has chill haze into it, condensation, whatnot, because it is a bit cooler and it is warm down here today. So that is, somewhat unfiltered, but for the most part filtered. It has this like yellow-orange color, very light, not murky or anything. It's a West Coast style pale. It has about a 2-finger of this fluffy, soap sudsy type of head to it. Yeah, it plays the role of what I'm looking for in a West Coast style pale ale. Let's get nose. Yep, to a T. So I'm getting a little bit of like bready, almost slightly caramel malt on the underneath everything. Then over top there's this zesty, pithy kind of grapefruit, but like a sweeter grapefruit, ruby red. There's like an orange sensation here too. A little bit of pine. A little bit of a nondescript earthiness as well. Tangerine. A hint of stone fruit, like a mango apricot type of thing going on. Ooh, and I just got like a slight spiciness, like you'd get from like a, German Pilsner or like a German beer in general. Yeah, I mean, it smells pretty good. It smells kind of what I was hoping for going into this one. It smells like a West Coast style beer of some sort. Pale ale, sure. Let's get into it. Cheers to everybody. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. That's different. That's different than what I was expecting. Body on this one's really nice for 6%. It's like straight up medium body. Has a little bit of heft, bigger than I would. If I was doing this blind, I would guess at least 6%, probably closer to 7 based on the body. Mouthfeel is what you expect from the style. It has a nice soft smoothness, but it has carbonation. It's crisp. It's spritzy on the palate, kind of what you expect from the style. So body and mouthfeel really nice. The taste though, a bit different. It didn't carry over 100% from the nose. So right from hit with like sweeter malts. It's not caramel or anything, just like sweet white bread. And that's kind of mixing in with like those stone fruits, like a sweeter mango, sweeter apricot, right at the front of the palate. As it passes through, the zesty kind of, more of a white grapefruit than a ruby red grapefruit, but like a zesty white grapefruit, like almost zesty, like lemon lime type of things going on. As that continues on, the pine resin kind of hits on the back end and it brings in bitterness. This finishes with a moderate, firm bitterness. And then there's this underlying, throughout the palate, there's this underlying, like, slightly spicy, earthy kind of floral aspect. That's why I said it was different when I tasted it, because it's hanging around on like the bottom of my palate. And it's interesting. It's bringing a nuance that I didn't anticipate based on the nose. Semi-dry finish, moderate bitterness. It has a pretty good balance. Like I said, all that sweetness up front at the forefront, like I said, sweeter stone fruits and whatnot. that lasts until about midway through the palate, where the pine resin comes in, the firm bitterness comes in, and then there's a semi-dry finish. I would say that maybe the finish isn't my favorite, but it's kind of akin to what you expect from a West Coast style pale ale. Outside the body, I couldn't tell you this is 6%, so it drinks quite easily. That's pretty good. I don't think this is like anything mind-blowing, but what I like is that they came to the table, they did the 3 collabs, and they did an IPL. So you got a hop-forward lager. You do this hop-forward pale ale, and then did a big hazy IPA. So you're going to have contrasting styles and differences. The IPL I really enjoyed. I think I like that one a little bit more than this, though. But this is still well made. I think it's pretty good. So rating on a base from both Revolution and Hop Butcher, I'm going to give this a low 4 out of 5 and go 3.9 out of 5. I think it's pretty good. The finish is just a little bit off for me. I don't know what it is. I couldn't sit here and tell you exactly why. I mean, it has the appropriate amount of bitterness and dryness and whatnot. I think it might be that underlying like spicy, earthy floral thing. I think that kind of just builds on the back of the palate. Like I said, it's underlying for most of the palate, but on the back I get it, and it kind of brings a different character nuance again to the beer that I didn't anticipate, and I don't think I really like that. I think I'd prefer it without it, and I think that this would be like a high 4 out of 5 without it, but it's still good. I'm going to drink the rest of this, and it's still going to be pretty good. I really do like the forefront of that sweet mango apricot kind of malty sensation I'm getting at the forefront. It's really good. Price and availability, I have no idea. Obviously, Hop Butcher sent me these beers. With Hop Butcher beers, I know price point on, because they told me pretty much their tiering of pricing for the most part, and so I have a bunch of other viewers of the channel out there. They pretty much told me with the price point of most of them. This I have no idea. I would guess this is probably like $12 to $14 a 4-pack, something like that, and availability probably Chicago area. But if someone out there bought this one or knows the price and availability, let me know for sure. Let me know what you think about this one if you have this. I think it's a pretty good beer. I just don't think the finish is my favorite, but I still think it's pretty good. 3.9 out of 5 is a solid score. So yeah, that's all. We're done. Gonna shut it down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Once again, huge thanks to Hop Butcher for hooking me up with this one. Until the next one. Cheers.